Welcome to Brea Talks, an insider's look into topics that affect your experiences in the city of Brea. Whether you live, work, or play here, we're bringing you the information you need to better understand your city. So now, we invite you to listen in as Brea Talks.
Hello and welcome. I'm Aimée Matsumoto, and today Brea Talks Storm Drains. With me is Brea's Environmental Services Coordinator, Brian Ingallinera. Brian, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me, Amy. It's great to be able to come out and talk to you about the importance of having a clean storm drain system because it promotes healthy watersheds.
Awesome. Give us a little background on your career here in Brea and how you got started in your field.
So a little bit about myself. I've actually been with the city for about 17 years now. I actually got a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil and Environmental Engineering from Cal Poly Pomona. And actually, roughly about 10 years ago, I actually created the position here at the city. So I actually started at the city as an assistant engineer where I was working on capital improvement projects in the street and also then managed a consultant that was doing the stormwater program. And then saw the importance of having in-house staff do it. So I worked with the city to create the position I hold today for the Environmental Services Coordinator position and now manage the program with an inspector.
That's very cool. I like that. So we thought this was a really good topic right now for a few reasons. First off, the rainy season just ended, we think. It's a little bit of a doozy right
Hopefully.
now. Yeah, hopefully. No more gloomy days, please. And we just celebrated Earth Day. And whether you know it or not, this is a super important topic that affects everyone. So I understand that storm drains aren't the most talked about topic when it comes to discussions about infrastructure or what to keep an eye on, but they should be. And this is exactly the kind of thing that we want to bring to the forefront to the public eye. Things that are super important but don't get a ton of attention. When did protecting storm drains and storm runoff become a thing?
Well, over the last century, there's been a lot of issues with industrial waste and the environment where people weren't really respecting Mother Nature. And back in 1969, the Cahoga River actually caught on fire from industrial waste, where they're just doing illegal discharges. And so as an outcry from the public, they asked Congress to get involved and do something. And Congress then created the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. And actually, in 1972, they actually passed the Clean Water Act, which put a whole bunch of regulations into motion so we wouldn't have as many pollutants make it into the waterways that not only impact, aquatic life, but also impact us as well.
Oh, wow. So it's a circle of life thing.
Yes.
So this is a federal law that requires compliances by all agencies, right?
It requires regulations by all agencies, but it actually starts at the federal level. And then from the federal level, they regulate states, and then the states regulate have their own set of programs. But because the California is so large, we actually have regions. And within our area, we have actually 9 regions that regulate entities that have a stormwater permit. And we're actually located in the Santa Ana region, which is Region 8. And with that, the city has been held the permits actually since the late 1980s, and we're actually a co-permittee. There's a lot of elements of this program, and because of how robust the system is with the public outreach, regulating businesses to make sure they're doing best management practices in order to reduce pollutants from making it into the waterways, we're actually a co-permittee to the County of Orange with a whole bunch of other cities within our region.
And just to be clear for our listeners, we were talking about storm drains and not sewers, because we were chatting about this before our recording, and this blew my mind because I literally just learned this, and I'm not sure if people thought that these terms were interchangeable, but there's actually a huge difference actually in Brea, right?
Yes, actually within Brea, we actually have two different systems. It's actually called an MS4, which stands for Municipal Separate Storm Sewer Systems. And basically the way to think about it is a sewer system is mostly underground. You can't physically see it, and that's basically collecting all the water from normal operations at your house. Toilet, sinks, wastewater, stuff that you're not going to want to touch. And then it goes to a treatment plant, then it gets treated. Then after a certain treatment process, it gets discharged into the ocean. However, for a storm drain system, and an easy way to identify these types of systems is sometimes at the edge of the street, you see these openings, and these are catch basins. And sometimes when you see the water running off the asphalt, they go into these, in a sense, almost look like black holes. That's kind of our catch basins that collect all the water and then convey it. And that doesn't go to a treatment plant prior to being discharged into the ocean. It actually just goes directly out. So, that's why it's important to, do your part to pick up your trash and do what you can so that debris is not making it into the catch basin. Another way to recognize these locations is you might see on the edge of the sidewalk, it says no dumping drains to ocean. Within the city of Brea, we have that stencil there where just to educate people that, hey, it goes directly to the ocean. It's not treated.
Okay, so sewer water gets treated and storm drains don't. So with storm drains carrying untreated water, this is why it's so important to protect them?
Yes, and that's why it's important for you to do your part in order to pick up trash or, have trash not fall on the ground. Because here in Brea, we actually have two watersheds. We have the Coyote Creek watershed, which actually discharges out at Seal Beach. And then we also have the Santa Ana River watershed, which discharges at the Huntington Beach State Beach. Another portion where you can kind of see the Santa Ana River, that runs along adjacent to the 57 freeway. And they also use that for groundwater recharge as well.
So let's talk about doing our part. What can we do right now to have a more positive impact on our storm drain water runoff?
Well, like I was mentioned before, is by doing your part, by picking up your trash, making a conscious effort. If you do see trash and you feel comfortable picking it up, or actually calling the city and let them know that send out crews to pick up the trash. Because we can send out crews in order to make sure it's not making it to the storm drain system. The other thing I would encourage participants to do is we have an intercoastal cleanup, and that runs every September. And what we do is go out into the creek and actually remove all the trash that's made it into there. And this event is held annually. Typically, it's the third Saturday of the month, but it does change from time to time. Feel free to check out our website to get information. I should be sending information out in mid to late August about signing up and participating in this event. But it's a great event. For our area, we pick up trash within the 1.5 mile stretch of this watershed. And again, by doing your part of taking out this trash, it's not making it into Seal Beach, which, when you go to the beach, you really don't want to step in trash or even swim in it. And it really impacts the surfers and everyone around. So another thing that you can do very easily is, we have street sweeping here within the city. So if you can do your part by moving your car prior to the street sweeper coming through, that makes a big impact on not the trash making into the storm drain system. Because if you have your car parked there and then the street sweeper goes around it and then the trash stills up and stays behind it, and if we do get rain, it just pushes it down, or the winds pick up like we get some crazy wind events, it's just going to blow it into the catch basin, which then eventually ties into the channels and that goes out to the two outlet locations. So, one thing that would be really wonderful is for people to do their part. Do the easy thing. Just move your car ahead of time. That'd be great.
Wow, that makes so much sense. That kind of puts it all into perspective. Street sweepers aren't a nice to have. They're actually a must have for that exact reason. So where can people find a schedule so they know when to move their cars, so they know when the street sweepers are coming by?
Okay, well, this information, you can actually check out our website at www.cityofbrea.net. You can also call over to our Public Works yard at 714-990-7691. But a lot of times also, as you enter a residential tract, you'll actually see a sign and actually post the times and the days that street sweeping is done. But for the most part, typically street sweeping happens a day after your trash pickup, because a lot of times when the trash is being picked up, sometimes stuff falls out of the trash cans. So the city trying to coincide at least 1 day lag with that.
Well, that's a very helpful hint there. So that's awesome. Okay, so I'll remember now. So Brian, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all of this with us. A super informative conversation about a super important topic.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's it for this episode of Brea Talks. This episode and all episodes of Brea Talks can be heard wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on Brea TV and the City of Brea's YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, rate, and review, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening in as Brea Talks.